before the invasion, the New York Times' Judith Miller would write 6 prominent stories based on their testimony.
Ahmed Shalaby is a controversial leader of the Iraqi opposition.
And still on the web, a report about the defectors, narrated by Judith Miller and produced by New York Times Television for the NewsHour on PBS.
Well, Judy Miller had been an old friend of Chalabi, did a lot of the stories on Chalabi, was very favorable to Chalabi.
James Bamford found out that in 2001, Chalabi had arranged for Miller to meet in Thailand with a defector from Iraq named Al-Hadari.
So Al-Hadari was in Bangkok. Judy Miller flew there to interview him. The New York Times ran a front-page story basically confirming everything the administration had been saying about Iraq.
Al-Hadari said he was a Kurd from northern Iraq. He told Miller the Iraqis had hidden chemical and biological weapons, some, Miller reported, right under Saddam's presidential sights. The story spread far and wide.
New York Times remains immensely influential. People in the TV world read it every morning, and it's amazing how often you'll see a story go from the front page of the day's paper in the morning to the evening newscast at night. People in government, of course, read it, think tanks, and so on.
There were some red flags that the New York Times story threw out immediately, which caught our eyes immediately. The first was the idea that a Kurd, the enemy of Saddam, had been allowed into his most top secret military facilities? I don't think so. That was, for me, the biggest red flag. And there were others, like the idea that Saddam Hussein would put a biological weapons facility under his residence. I mean, would you put a biological weapons lab under your living room? I don't think so.
The first rule of being an intelligence agent or a journalist, and they're really not that different, you're skeptical of defectors because they have a reason to exaggerate. They want to increase their value to you. They probably want something from you. It doesn't